has been devised, you have to understand the static existence from where it came through. What happens is we wanted to experience the static state through particle. Unless until the particle, which is the physical body, dissolves and you understand the dissolving process of how the particle becomes wave and waves becomes a static state, you will not be able to understand things nicely. Because we mix particle with wave, it's very difficult for us to get through this process. And that is the reason why many a times when we talk about the astral body or when we talk about the chakras and everything, we lose ourselves in the misunderstanding of things. So that's a long explanation. Sorry, I need to get a sip of water. So did I answer your question or you have more?
No, yeah, you beautifully explained it. Thank you so much. Yes, I got it now. I just want to know the.
Yeah. So the problem is if you're trying to see a wave through particles, what happens? You cannot see, you cannot feel it. You have to only experience it. Okay. So to give you an example, in the Panchendriya meditation that we do, right? What is nose associated with? The smell is associated with solid element. Okay. So you might think that smell should be equivalent to the air. Why smell is associated towards solid? In science and in physicality also, they know that any solid material that you see, it creates an aura around it. Okay. That aura around it actually is sensed by your nose. It's not the actual solid. That aura is sensed by your nose. Only your nose can sense that. What we think is that only the solid things. For instance, I have a cake in front of me. Okay. The cake in itself has a very subtle existence in solid. The expression of that solid in the waveform is what your nose is expressing. And that is the reason why your nose is also the key to the prana. Okay? Nose is always called as prana. It's because it has the capacity to understand the subtleness of each existence of these five elements. And that is your link between the Vijnanamaya kosa, the body outside us, and the Pranamaya kosa within us. So out of the five bodies, the link between the external body and your internal body through your prana is through the nose, is because it has the capacity to understand how this Panjabhutas works and how that has to interact with your body. Moment you are not able to realize through your nose or the prana, the subtle existence, you will become a disoriented person. It becomes very difficult for us to understand things around it. And that is where we have to be very careful. When the particle is misunderstood for the wave, we will never be able to understand what is our pranamaya kosa or the astral body. And if you don't realize that difference, it is very difficult for us to get into through this. But again, I have to tell you an asterisk star, as we are in US, right? Everything is a disclosure. We have to tell everything. Do you have to know all this? No, you don't have to. You don't have to know everything that I said, what Maharishi has said and everything. The earnestness of observance of what is happening, how this particle is dissolving into wave and how this wave is going back into the static state. If you only have the capacity to observe this, all this will be disclosed to you automatically. And that is what exactly all the saints have tried to tell us, is ask the question, who am I? Don't go externally. Find out how the wave particles within generated, how the particles, life force particle, generates within us, creates the life force, and eventually merges into the divinity. Maharishi went ahead and explained it even further that it does not only merge into yourself, it also creates a wave that exists around you, around us, and then that's Vijnanamaya Kosa, and eventually that also merges into the universal existence called the Shivakalam. That is where our simple problem of us, when it merges with Turiya Aditam, the eighth state of mind, where it goes and merges with the bigger infinite consciousness, it becomes zero in an unbounded infinite state. Maharishi uses placebo as Turiyatita meditation to explain us subtly, be prepared to Turiyatidam consistently. But when you understand this relationship between how particle becomes wave and wave becomes static, from the static again the wave forms and the particle becomes, you will realize the difference between birth and death consistently versus unborn state of existence. Again, the greatness of the person is, he told it very, very subtle and simplified. That's why it's called simplified Kundalini Yoga. So I don't know why I talked today. I'm talking too much about Maharishi and his simplification, but that is what I experience every single day within me. And that is the reason why every time I do meditation or do any activity, I thank him, because the realization or the understanding of this subtleness is given to me in a subtle way. He did not profoundly tell, this is what it is, this is what you have to do. He never said, this is the method, this is the only method for realization, this is the only thing that you have to do. Even when you do Kaya Kalpa, as in an extreme situation, there is a saying in Tamil also, சாகும்போது சங்கரா சங்கரா சொல்லாதீங்க முன்னாடியே சொல்லுங்க. As when, don't call divinity or God when you're about to die. Okay? Always remember divinity when throughout the process. So when I was in extreme pain in one of the marathons that I was running, this came in and struck me and said, like, you have the divine energy within yourself. Why do you have to go look for somebody else to help? Stand there, do your Kaya Kalpa. I did 10 Ashwini Mudra, 1 Ojas breath when I hit a wall when I was running a marathon. Hit a wall is like where you go and then you delusion. In the medical science, they will say you hit a wall where you become so delusionalized, saying like, why am I even existing, or why am I even doing this activity? That delusionized state comes to you when you do an extreme physical activity. Okay? That time is when all this knowledge that you're learning should help you out. Okay? In Mahabharata, when Karna was in that state of mind, all his knowledge left him. Okay, look at how examples have been told to us over a period of time. We have to collectively use that for our own well-being. And great people like Maharishi will come and make it very, very simplified and then make things better. So that's exactly what happened. During the most difficult time in life, if you are able to remember the subtlest of the subtle things, it will help you through the process. So I hit the wall, and then I did Kaya Kalpa 20 cycles, which means 10 Ashwini Mudra, 1 Ojas breath, 10 Ashwini Mudra, 1 Ojas breath. And suddenly I just saw a policeman come to me and say, like, what happened? I said, like, I don't know what happened. He said, just walk down to the next tent and then go on from there. So by the time I was walking, I found a way to do Kaya Kalpa while walking. And then I realized, like, suddenly this rush of energy hit my head. I started running back again, and I finished the whole thing without any assistance. That's where all these things that Maharishi has told and what we are trying to do all along through this process is, when you are in the most difficult time, understanding the real reason behind it and helping you out at the very subtlest moment is the key. If you know how to observe yourself at the most difficult time, That's the best life lessons you could learn from any of us or any of these yogis. When you know that, you will never ever stop thanking this yogi. And that's the reason why every single time I'm breathing, waking up, and everything, I always thank Magarishi. I always thank my parents. I always thank everybody here. Every single time I meditate, I always thank all of you who come and participate in these sessions, because this gives me a way to express my inner existence in such a way that it gives me a confidence that I am in the right path and Magarishi has showed me the right path, and I'm able to be a light, a bulb, the electric current that passes through me to show the light across. So always remember, the whole reason why we are trying to get the work that Maharishi has done through life force and life force particle is to simplify it further in the scientific world and reach out to as many people as possible. Understand how particle works, how wave works, and how the static existence work. And this cycle, if you look at the bigger humans, we are like born and dying. Each thought process from the static state gets to the particle state, goes back to that same static state, is a birth and death in its own self. And that is the whole idea as how it is being generated and how year after year, month after month, time after time, we're going through that process is what the beauty of life is. And we have to live to understand the beauty. That is the whole idea of living. Unless we live, there's no point in understanding the beauty. Sat Chit Anand. Anand means we have to be in this Anand or the blissful state always. That can only happen if you live. And that's the reason why every sessions I tell and end the session by saying, please live. Live. Everything that is provided around you is for you to understand this Anandic state all the time. People have told, people have come, people have experienced it. People like JK got so frustrated. People keep on asking him questions rather than trying to do anything. So he just simply told people towards the end of his life, just forget about it. Just go and do, people. And he started abusing people, saying, don't ask, do. And when my son comes and says, like, what do I do? I was like, I have nothing to do. Can I go and watch YouTube? I said, like, don't observe content. Be a content creator. You are born to create. You are not born to consume. You are consuming means you are only living a life of non-existence. You create, you live. When you create, you are in Anandic state. How many times I've seen this beautiful thing that happened in Jersey City one time. There's this Jersey City museum in downtown Jersey City, where one Tibetan monk, I shared this with a selective group here, came here. Okay, Jersey City sponsored his visa. Mayor sponsored him. He came to US. He was given the auditorium to build a beautiful mural of something of his imagination. So he decided to create the entire culture of Tibet. It took him 3 months. Okay, 3 months to build the entire picture. Everybody came, everybody died, and everything praised, appreciated the beautiful art he did and everything. It's amazed. It took him 3 months. He did not speak to anybody. He only wrote down what he needed. He kept on doing this for 3 months. When everything is done, everybody praised, and then people said, like, okay, this is done, and thank you very much for him. And then said the next day is his flight to go back to Tibet. He said, okay, thank you very much. And single-handedly, he sat through the entire process and cleaned the whole thing and left behind the auditorium better than what it was given to him before that. Imagine us, okay? Even if we create something for like one within a day or so, some kind of small art, We hang it in our wall for the entire lifetime. For us, that's so valuable. This person created one of the best art form. 3 months. Okay? Once everything was done, all he did was wipe clean the entire place, left it sparkling clean, single-handedly. No, he did not ask anybody's help. Single-handedly, 3 months, not talking to anybody. He simply thanked everybody for giving the opportunity to express his thought process, cleaned the whole place, and left. Everybody was dumbfounded. How can somebody do something like this? That's exactly what our life is all about. We have to create, enjoy this beautifulness of life. Once we do that, wipe clean everything so somebody else can also enjoy this place. Do not destroy the place by leaving our footprints here for long. Leave it clean so the next person can have another beautiful session. And that's that auditorium right now. If you would have not left it, that auditorium right now does a lot of cultural events and cultural program. So next event is able to possibly done. Let's live a life like that. Create it. Understand how the life force particle, and the static existence works. Create things. Enjoy it. And when we go, leave a clean slate for the other person to enjoy it. Thank you, Vargavalamudan. We are 10:01 now. And thank you for listening to me and helping me understand and thank Maharishi every time that I do. Let's go into, if Ayya is here, we will start our session on life force particle. And I see Dr. Ravi Prakash Ayya is also there. And we will be talking about plasma and sexual vital fluid. Is sexual vital fluid a plasma? Amazing research work, a creator, as I just said. Creation, create it, explain it, enjoy it. Let's all understand the pain that he has gone through to get to this point. Enjoy along with him. Get this Anandamaya Kosa. Help him if we can. And move on to our next one. Vargavalamudan, thank you for the opportunity.
Thank you, Tarun Master. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Vargavalamudan.
Valgolamda.
Vargavalamudan.
Vargavalamudan.
Vargavalamudan, Vijayalakshmi Amma.
Any special session going on? Sorry, I
No,
missed.
this is my regular Saturday session where we take questions and discuss about things. So usually in winter, right, the daylight saving kicks in. So after meditation, we straight away go into our life force session. But now that it is summertime, I have this 1 hour. So any questions that people ask, we just go through that. So, and again, anybody is welcome to join the session. It starts 8 a.m. Eastern time. We start with exercise, followed by meditation, and then any of the subjects of Maharishi or any questions that anybody have, we discuss, and then we go into this life force R&D session. So thank you very much. I don't want to take other person's time because time is valuable to everyone. Time is also divine. 4 properties of God, if you know in introspection, Maharishi says time is also divine. So let's respect the divine and get into divine state. Move into our session. Vargavalamudan, Vijayalakshmi Amma, please.
Yeah, MBR Ayya has joined. So, Ayya Vargavalamudan.
Proceed with the life force meeting and start Mahavidi Lakshmi. You can invite Ravi Prakash to talk.
Tarun, he already did. Yeah, anyway, I can do. Yeah.
Yeah, please start your presentation. We are all eagerly waiting for your interesting subject, plasma and sexual. Vargavalamudan.
Thank you, Ayya. So thank you for the nice introduction.